We're talking about MG Motor and JSW Group finally signing up with MG Motor. Talk to us. The big question always is a steel company taking over a car company, premium car company. Backward integration of the first order.
Forward integration, if you ask me, because now your raw material is actually going to go into the final product.
From MG Motors' perspective, it's backward integration.
Absolutely, right. So I think, finally, I think all those speculations have been laid to rest and a JV has been formed and the JV has been signed between JSW Group. It's not necessarily JSW Steel, it is JSW Group as a whole.
True.
It's JSW Group as well as the parent company of MG Motors, which is SAIC. Shanghai-based company. And if you remember, just jogging the memory of our viewers back, the problems with MG Motor expanding in India and more FDI coming from China into India for expansion of the footprint or mileage of MG Motor in India actually came to a halt in the year 2020. When the Galwan clashes happened on the India-China border. And the issue then, of course, was with Chinese apps being banned and Chinese investments being scrutinized by India. And MG Motor has since then been facing a lot of difficulty expanding into India. And for the last 6 months, 8 months or so, we've seen JSW has been one of the front runners. And now with this deal finally getting signed, we don't know what is the deal value. We don't know how much is the investment that is being made by JSW, but we know that 35% stake has been picked up by JSW. Now, the endeavor seems to be, at least from the statement coming in from Parth Jindal, that there is a likely focus on accelerating the transformation of the electric vehicle mobility, EV sort of penetration in India. And that seems to be the crux right now. We know that Tata Motors has actually been the sort of, leader right now when it comes to transitioning India from ICE engines to electric engines, electric vehicles, and some competition coming in there now with this investment from JSW Group into MG Motors. So the electric vehicle adoption, that story in India is likely to get fostered even more.
And just for the record, so far, MG in its stable has exactly 2 electric cars. One is called Comet, and the other is the Aster ZS, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
So from 2, are you looking at a company? I mean, it's all speculation at this stage because we don't know anything. But that statement from Parth Jindal is very telling. He could have said anything about picking up MG Motor, but he specifically spoke about green mobility. So you're looking at a chance where their majority of the cars in the stable are set to be electric with only 1 or 2 petrol or diesel options.
Yeah, so I think that would definitely be the focus, but would they do away with existing petrol cars, ICE engine cars? We don't know yet. Again, it's all in the realm of speculation. But interestingly, I think this JV is going to bring in the capital from JSW because that is going to be an Indian investment into the joint venture. And the technology is going to come in from SAIC. And this technology on the basis of SAIC's already leadership globally on electric vehicles and EV engines is something that we will see coming into India. More importantly also, Krishna, MG Motor already has one plant in Halol in Gujarat with a capacity of 1,25,000 units to be produced every year. And for about a year or so, MG Motor has been trying to, move into the direction of setting up a second plant. And that second plant is the sort of pegged investment for the second plant was at about 4,000 crore rupees or so. That plant never took off up until now. So I think we will definitely see a second plant come up. We will see manufacturing to go up from the existing 1.25 lakh cars to an additional perhaps 1.75 to 2 lakh cars per year, taking the portfolio, the capacity at least to produce up to about 3 lakh cars every year. So with 3 lakh cars coming every year, and even if 50% of those are electric cars, then we are definitely seeing some momentum in the EV story in India going forward.
Yeah, I was about to say that second plant could be a completely green mobility based plant.
Absolutely.
We don't know anything about that. What's also interesting is that, Karthik, many people forget this. SAIC is China's largest car maker.
Absolutely.
And MG Motors is owned by SAIC. But what everybody needs to remember is that MG Motors is originally a British car brand called Morrison Garage. So
Morris Garage.
So MG Motors here is another Indian company taking over a British brand after Tata's took over JLR. Just that we're buying it from the Chinese this time around.
Well, I'm not sure we are taking it over completely just as yet. It's still a minority stake. It's a 35% stake. But
we're giving them a license to exist in India with that stake.
Absolutely.
That's all I can think of at this stage, because MG Motors could cease to exist in this country if it weren't for a major Indian investment. And finally, it's got it, which means that all those of the MG Motor cars out there, don't worry. It's not going to be a case of Ford. MG Motors is going to continue being in India.
Or a case of Fiat for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. So, or a Fiat for that matter. So, I'm talking about Ford because it's an American company. It came to India. Everybody loved the Ford cars, Ford Figo, and others. And
EcoSport, the best seller.
The Ford EcoSport, which is the precursor to all the SUV cars in the market.
The compact SUV, I think that defined the category of compact SUV.
When we did not talk SUVs all that much. And so, for all those MG motor car enthusiasts, fear not. They are set to be in India for the near term at least.